Howdy there, friend. Ever find yourself lying wide awake in the dead of night, everything around you silent and still, only to have that familiar urge pull you out of your warm bed? You shuffle barefoot across the cool floor to the bathroom once again. If that rings a bell, trust me, you're far from alone. Folks like Bob Henderson down in Tampa has been there, and Martha Jenkins over in Phoenix even swapped out 4 alarm clocks convinced one was malfunctioning, only to realize it was her own body waking her. I'm Dr. John Garret, calling Chicago home, and today I want to walk alongside you as we gently unpack and tackle one of those quiet yet profoundly impactful things that can chip away at life's quality after 60, those disruptive nighttime bathroom trips. Some folks just shrug it off as getting older, you know? But research tells a different story, showing that over 78% of seniors here in the States are unknowingly following 5 little habits that nudge their kidneys into action at precisely the wrong time, stealing away that precious, deep nighttime sleep. The truly encouraging news? Fixing these habits usually doesn't require a single pill. Often it's about making just a few simple adjustments, done the right way at the right time, paving the way back to peaceful, uninterrupted slumber. And hey, if this is your first time joining us here, a sincere welcome. This space is for anyone who treasures their health, wants to understand their amazing body a bit better, and dreams of living with vibrancy, wellness, and freedom well beyond their 60th birthday. Before we dive in, I'd love to ask you a small but meaningful question. Where in this great country are you tuning in from today? Maybe you're relaxing in a cozy suburb, enjoying the mountain air, or soaking up the coastal breeze. Please just drop the name of your town or state down in the comments below. It helps me feel connected, knowing who's walking this path with me and from where. And if what we share today feels helpful, well, consider hitting that subscribe button and the little bell beside it. That way, we can meet back here week after week, sharing straightforward wisdom for thriving in our senior years. Now let's get started, because frankly, just a few days from now you might wake up feeling more refreshed than you have in years. There's this quiet belief many older Americans carry, thinking that waking up multiple times a night to pee is just an inevitable part of aging. But the truth is, in medical terms, this is called Nocturia, and it's not a natural part of getting older. It's actually a sign that something in your daily rhythm might be a little out of sync. Take Mr. Douglas Reed from Austin, 72 years young. He was getting up 4, sometimes 5 times every single night. At first he chalked it up to just being old, but gradually his daytime energy plummeted. He felt constantly drained. His focus got fuzzy, his memory seemed less sharp, and one scary night, he nearly took a tumble in the bathroom. Those little incidents, when they pile up, can lead to serious trouble. Solid medical studies back this up. Sleep fractured by Nocturia slashes the amount of deep sleep you get, especially that crucial REM stage. That's the time when your brain consolidates memories and your body does its deep repair work. Missing out on that phase leaves your body exhausted, weakens your immune defenses, makes you more prone to catching bugs, and can even leave you feeling moody or out of sorts. These broken nights are silent thieves, robbing you of healing and renewal. But here's the truly hopeful part. In over 80% of cases, Nocturia isn't driven by some scary illness. It often springs from very specific everyday habits, things like when you have dinner, how much you drink in the evening, or even, believe it or not, the temperature of your bedroom. And the beautiful thing, all of these are things we can gently adjust. After working for years with seniors from sunny Florida to the Pacific Northwest, we've pinpointed 5 key habits that tend to trigger those nighttime calls. When you tweak these the right way, your body naturally starts to find its balance again, and the possibility of a solid night's sleep returns. So let's walk through each one step by gentle step, seeing how they might fit into your own life. Habit 1 is about liquids and watery foods too close to bedtime. Many folks figure avoiding water right before hitting the pillow is sufficient. But the reality is a bit more nuanced. Think about a typical American evening. Maybe dinner includes a comforting bowl of chicken broth, followed by some refreshing watermelon slices for dessert, and perhaps a soothing cup of chamomile tea before turning in. These choices seem perfectly healthy, right? Yet, they can quietly be the culprits behind those frustrating midnight wake-ups. Remember Martha Jenkins from Phoenix? For years, 4 or 5 trips a night were her norm. She tried everything, cutting off water after 8 p.m., even diuretics, and briefly considered bladder surgery. Nothing gave her lasting relief. "I felt like my bladder's personal night watchman," she once shared. After a detailed chat with her physician, Dr. Susan Ellis, Martha discovered something surprising. Her beloved evening broth and chamomile tea were putting pressure on her bladder. Dr. Ellis suggested establishing a liquid cut-off about 3 hours before bedtime. From then on, Martha limited all fluid-rich items in that window: water, milk, juicy fruits, soups, even ice pops. Within just 2 weeks of sticking to this, she was down to waking just once a night. And some nights, she slept straight through until morning, something she hadn't experienced in a decade. Managing fluid intake before sleep also encourages your body to produce more vasopressin, a natural hormone that dials down urine production at night. The payoff isn't just deeper sleep, it's waking up feeling lighter, clearer-headed, and genuinely refreshed. For those on medications that cause thirst or managing diabetes, it's wise to chat with your doctor about shifting more of your daily fluids to earlier hours. And if late-night thirst strikes, keep a small glass of water by your bedside, but sip it only when truly necessary. As Martha put it with a smile, skipping that 1 cup of tea felt like a tiny change, but it gave me back my whole night's rest. Now, each morning I swear I feel 10 years younger. Maybe this small shift could be your first step towards renewed vitality too. Habit 2 involves late dinners and those sneaky natural diuretics. Consider Robert Bob Henderson, 68, living with his wife in Sarasota. For years, Nocturia left him wiped out, often dozing off in his favorite recliner on the porch by midday. It never crossed his mind that the big salad his grandkids loved making for him, loaded with cucumber, tomatoes, and parsley, or that calming cup of green tea after dinner, might be quietly sabotaging his nights. You see, lots of foods we think of as super healthy, watermelon, asparagus, celery, coffee, dark chocolate, and yes, green tea, are actually natural diuretics. Consuming them after about 4 p.m. can gently nudge your kidneys and bladder into overdrive throughout the night. Bob was used to eating dinner around 8:30 p.m., enjoying a leisurely chat with his wife, often capped with that green tea before bed. Every night was a predictable cycle, up at 1 a.m., again at 3:30 a.m., and once more around 5:30 a.m. Thought it was just my age catching up, he admitted, but I moved through my days like a ghost, foggy, dull, never quite present. Following his doctor's advice, Bob made 2 key changes. He moved dinner up to 6 p.m. and completely avoided known diuretic foods and drinks after 4 p.m. Just 10 days later, he was typically waking only once during the night. Within 3 weeks, he was regularly clocking 6 solid, uninterrupted hours. Aligning dinner time with the body's natural circadian rhythm gives your system ample time to digest and settle before sleep. It eases the burden on the bladder, aids digestion, sometimes helping with heartburn too, and can even improve nutrient absorption. Many, like Bob, report waking up feeling fresher, lighter, and mentally sharper. "Honestly thought I was stuck with it," Bob shared. "But shifting dinner earlier and ditching that tea changed everything. My wife joked I looked lively enough to join her on her morning walk." Sometimes, just one simple adjustment is all it takes to rediscover the joy of a full night's rest. Maybe this could be your next step forward. Habit 3 is the just-in-case pre-bed bathroom trip. Helpful habit or hidden trap. In many households, especially among seniors, heading to the bathroom right before bed feels like pure common sense, a cautious tradition passed down. It seems logical. Empty the bladder just in case to secure uninterrupted sleep. But what if this well-intentioned routine is quietly training your body into a cycle of restlessness? Take Eleanor Vance, a spirited 74-year-old living with her daughter's family in Portland. Each night, she'd wind down with warm milk, a few crossword clues, and that just-in-case bathroom visit. Didn't really feel the need to go, she confessed, but I figured it was the smart thing to do for a good night's sleep. Yet, she still found herself waking up at least 3 times nightly. After consulting Dr. Michael Reynolds, a respected urologist in Seattle, Eleanor was surprised to learn her routine might be contributing to the problem. He explained that the bladder made of muscle learns habits. If you frequently empty it when it's not genuinely full, it starts sending urgent signals with much smaller volumes, maybe just 3-5 ounces instead of the usual 10-14 ounces. The result? Frequent wake-ups for barely a trickle. With Dr. Reynolds' guidance, Eleanor began retraining her bladder using the true urge principle. Only visit the bathroom when she felt a genuine strong need. Instead of anxiously anticipating the urge or going just in case, she'd linger over her crossword, do some gentle stretching, or listen to calming music for 15-20 minutes. Slowly, her bladder relearned to hold a normal volume before signaling. Within weeks, she was sleeping soundly for 5-6-hour stretches, something she hadn't managed in years. "Never dreamed I was part of the problem," Eleanor said with a chuckle. "Now I trust my body more. I wake up energized, honestly, like I did years ago. Of course, if you're on diuretics or have a specific medical condition, talk to your doctor before changing routines. For those with mobility concerns, keeping a portable urinal nearby is perfectly fine. Just don't use it out of habit alone. Trust that your body knows when it truly needs to go. Sometimes, letting go of one small ingrained habit can restore an entire night's peace, just like it did for Eleanor. Habit 4 involves something most folks don't immediately connect to: Nocturia, sleep posture and pillow choice. In many homes, how we sleep and what we rest our head on is often guided by decades of habit, not necessarily what's optimal for our bodies. Picture Frank Delaney, a 71-year-old retired engineer from Minneapolis. For over 30 years, he'd slept firmly on his stomach, convinced it helped regulate his breathing and kept him calm. But after years battling severe nocturia, he finally saw a sleep specialist in St. Paul. The first surprising insight: his sleep posture was silently pressuring his bladder. Sleeping on your stomach, or in any position that compresses the abdomen, puts direct stress on the bladder. This pressure can create a false signal, prompting the body to wake up feeling an urgent need, even when the bladder isn't full. Furthermore, using a pillow that's too high or too flat can subtly disrupt healthy blood circulation. During the day, poor circulation might allow fluid to pool in the legs. At night, when you lie down, this fluid re-enters the bloodstream, making the kidneys work overtime while you're trying to rest. Frank shifted his sleep position. He started sleeping on his left side, with a supportive pillow between his knees, and used a properly sized pillow under his head to keep his neck aligned with his spine. Within just 2 weeks, he reported sleeping 5-6 continuous hours without waking. Science backs this up. Sleeping on the left side with a knee pillow helps align the spine, eases pressure on the bladder, supports better circulation, reduces back strain, and promotes deeper rest. "Honestly, never imagined it was just how I was lying down," Frank shared. "Now I wake up not just without that frantic bathroom urge, but with less back stiffness and a real sense of lightness. Wish I'd known this years ago." In a culture where routines are deeply ingrained, especially for seniors, something as simple as adjusting how you lie down can be a powerful, cost-free change. Give your body the chance to rest properly. That peaceful night you've been yearning for might be just one good posture away. Habit 5 focuses on the often overlooked details: room temperature and sleepwear, the small things that profoundly affect sleep quality. Many seniors pay close attention to bedtime rituals, maybe a dab of lavender oil, a warm mug of milk, or quiet reading time. Yet the very environment of the bedroom and the clothes worn in it are frequently neglected. Consider Grace Peterson, a 69-year-old retired librarian from Denver. For years, she slept in a tightly sealed room with no air circulation, wearing thick flannel pajamas year-round, convinced the warmth helped her drift off. But every night, she'd wake up drenched in sweat 4 or 5 times, feeling restless and utterly drained. Specialists at a Denver wellness center later explained that improper room temperature and unsuitable sleepwear throw off the body's natural heat regulation. When you get too warm, your body increases blood flow near the skin to cool down, sending more fluid through the kidneys. This silent process directly leads to increased urine production at night and more disruptive trips. Following their advice, Grace made simple but impactful changes. She switched to lightweight, breathable cotton nightwear, used a small, quiet fan for gentle airflow, and cracked her window slightly to invite in the cool night air. Within 1 week, her nighttime awakenings had halved. By the 3rd week, she marveled, "I always blamed my age, but turns out it was just my pajamas trapping all that heat." Many seniors are accustomed to bundling up for bed. However, studies indicate excessive insulation actually fragments sleep. The ideal temperature for deep restorative sleep is around 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit, 18 to 20 degrees Celsius. Loose, airy fabrics like cotton or linen allow the body to regulate its temperature naturally, without overheating and sweating. For those who tend to feel chilly, layering 2 light garments or using a breathable blanket is far better than one heavy, heat-trapping layer. Overheating not only causes discomfort, but can also disrupt the delicate hormonal rhythms essential for sinking into deep sleep. Grace beamed as she said, "Who would have thought the fabric I wore and the air in my room would let me sleep like a child again? These days I wake up feeling refreshed, lighter somehow, and my whole mood has lifted." Truly, sometimes the smallest tweaks to our surroundings yield the greatest comfort. A cooler room and gentler fabric might just be the peaceful night you've been longing for. So, may I ask you something, friend? What's been pulling you out of bed 2 or 3 times every night for all this time? Maybe you figured it was just age creeping up, or perhaps a weaker bladder. But now we understand it differently. With just 5 simple yet powerful habit adjustments, your nights can become peaceful once more. From how you position your pillow to choosing an earlier dinner time, or even timing that glass of water right, these might seem like minor details, but truly, they can be golden keys. Why burden the body with complicated solutions when gentle, natural changes can bring such relief and restoration? In homes across the country, from Chicago suburbs to small towns in Ohio, seniors have started making these shifts. And you know what? They're often surprised to find the urgent need to pee at night fading away. Their sleep stretches out, uninterrupted. They rise feeling lighter, genuinely refreshed, ready to greet the morning sun with real energy and a quiet smile. If you're still with me now, reading these final words, it tells me you genuinely care about your health, your peace, and finding daily joy. So I warmly invite you, share in the comments below which part of this message resonated most with you. Or if that feels too personal, simply type the word hope. Let us know you're holding on to the possibility of better nights ahead. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and tap that little notification bell. And please, share this with a friend or loved one who might also be quietly wishing for a restful night. You've spent a lifetime caring for others. Now, it's time to care wonderfully for yourself. Wishing you a truly peaceful sleep tonight, and I look forward to seeing you next time.